Hello, my name is Todd Fetterman. I teach economics at Montclair State University. In this short video, I'm going to show you how to create quizzes from test banks that have been loaded for Economics 101 and 102. When you go to Canvas and you look at your courses, you'll see that the IT department has loaded for you either Econ 101 Quizbank or Econ 102 Quizbank, depending on whether or not you teach Econ 101 or 102. In these quiz banks, you're going to create quizzes by selecting questions from test banks, and then once you have a midterm exam that you like with 25, 30, or 35 multiple choice questions, you're then going to be able to take it and copy it to your actual economics courses. So let's click on Econ 101 Quiz Bank, and let's take a look and see how it looks. Okay, it has put me into the Econ 101 Quiz Bank course. You'll notice on the left-hand side almost everything's been grayed out. The purpose here is to take a look at quizzes. When I click on quizzes, what you're going to notice is there are many quizzes that have already been created. These are the entire test banks that have been taken out of test bank mode and transferred over into quiz mode. And I'll explain the differences in a minute, and there's one significant difference. It has to do with the way you can preview things. So I've clicked on quizzes on the left-hand side. You see Chapter 1, and you see there are two of them. The first one's got 216 questions. The second one has 288. This is the test bank number 1 from the column, and this is test bank number 2. These names will be edited so you'll be able to see that it's Chapter 1 scarcity or Chapter 3 supply and demand. Now these quizzes on each one of the test banks were created by pulling a quiz and selecting all of the questions from a test bank. On the upper right hand side you see Add a Quiz, and you also see an editing wheel. When you pull down the menu, you see something that says Manage Test Banks. These will show you a separate location on Canvas where the test banks are located. And these actual test banks, again, will get renamed so we'll know exactly what the topics are. So these quizzes were created from the core material, which were these chapter test banks. Okay, let's create a new quiz, a new midterm from scratch. So I'm going to click on quizzes. What I want to do is I want to add a new quiz. So I'm going to go on the upper right hand side to Add a Quiz. First thing I want to do is I want to change the name. I'm going to call this Midterm 2 Fall 2014, and I'm going to call this, I'm going to call it macro. Okay. And if you have any instructions for the students, instructions go down in this little box, this little text box. Let's take a look at the other criteria for the quiz. This is going to be a graded quiz, and it's going to come under assignments, so the students will be able to access it under assignments in Canvas. If you click Shuffle Answers, then each student will get a different array of A, B, C, D in different orders. This is left checked. You can uncheck it if you want, but this lets students see the quiz responses once the quiz is complete. And over here as well, you can let students see the correct answers once the quiz is complete. There's no need to put a password on it, but you may want to password protect it. And then maybe change the password afterwards. If you have maybe a student who's out sick and you want to give them the same exam, you can then change the password so they won't have access to it. Down at the bottom over here, we're going to scroll to the right, you see, it's for everyone. You see due date, available from, and until. You may want to put a ending time and date on it, or not. But it's important to put a due date on it because that will inform the students that they have a midterm exam coming up. This will pop up at the top of their Canvas screen. All right, I've put in some criteria. I'm not going to click Save yet because I have not added any questions. So now let's go to the Questions tab. In the Questions tab, there are 3 ways to add questions. I'm only going to talk about the third option, which is Find Questions, but let me discuss these briefly. If you want to add your own new question, you want to cut and paste in a graph or a chart, or just simply write with in text, a multiple choice question. You can do that here under New Question. But the goal here obviously is to find questions using the test banks. If you create a question group and draw questions from the test banks, it will draw them at random. You can say, give me 10 questions from test bank 3. If you do that, each student, when they log in to take the quiz or the test, will get a different set of questions that are random. It will pull from the entire test bank. It might also include topics you haven't covered. So what I prefer to do is pick questions individually while scanning through the test bank. I click on Find Questions, and it loads the test bank. So let's say we are in midterm 2, so I'm up at chapter 10. And let me get chapter 10. I apologize. Okay, we've got two choices here, Test Bank 1 or Test Bank 2. Test Bank 1 has 187 questions, Test Bank 2 has 149. Now here you only see an abbreviated preview of the questions. In a separate video, I'll explain how you can look at this abbreviated question, and you can preview the entire question on a separate screen, either by using an additional panel, a dual panel display, or you can use two laptops and actually on the other laptop you can preview the entire questions by previewing the test bank. I'm going to select 3 questions that I like, and now I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. If I want to put these in a group, in other words, all the chapter 10 questions, I can create a new group. It will ask me for the name. I'll say chapter 10. You have to tell it how many questions you put in here. It's not going to pick it for you. You've already picked it, but you're telling it you're picking 3 questions, and you need, if you're going to create a group name, you have to put this in, 3 questions. I don't want them all to be 10 points. I'm going to create the group. And now finally, I haven't done anything until I click Add Questions. It now flips me back to the previous page. I see the 3 questions over here. Again, just the heading. If I want to preview it, I can preview the entire quiz. But let me finish by now saving this, and then we will preview it in our list of quizzes. It has now saved it. I'm going to publish it. And again, no students are seeing this because it was created inside your Quizbank course. Eventually, you're going to then take this and transfer it, and that will be a separate video that will just explain, once you've created a quiz, how to transfer it. Let's go take a look at my list of quizzes. You're going to see all the quizzes that were created from the test bank, and up top you see Midterm 2 Macro Fall 2014. It has 30 points, 3 questions. It's been published. If I click on it, you can then click Preview, where you will see the entire quiz. And here you see the entire quiz. Okay, that's it for now. If you have any questions, you can contact me, Todd Fetterman, in the Economics Department at Montclair State. Thank you.